All right, it's the City Chats show on ELEGBETE TV. My name is Idafi Matthew Esiogede, and I have with me my big brother, my professor, my friend, reliable and dependable person that I can always count on anytime, and then an encyclopedia of Nigerian football and sports, a veteran journalist by excellence and a club administrator as well. Is being there, done that when it comes to Nigerian football, works with every strata from being a journalist to being a club secretary, media officer, somehow pseudo club administrator, also gotten into the politics of it. It's been everywhere. China Acheru, welcome to my chat.
Thank you, Matthew. Good to be here. My first time on your chat, and I hope it's good.
I know it's going to be good. So it's not about hoping. I know it's going to be good. I've been looking forward to it, but this does not eliminate the interview in Lagos that we're inviting you for. This is just a chat because they say we should work at home, and I don't know. I'm a restless person. You know me, I'm restless. I don't know how to sit idle and just sleep and watch TV. It's not my character. So if I'm not running on the street playing football or working in the office, I have to do something. So we created this chat. Straight away, a couple of days ago, we saw a video. I don't know what your take is. We both are not expert virologists or radioactive expert, but I mean, there's common sense opinion. So we saw a video by Pastor Chris that says that this COVID-19 is caused by 5G, that actually forced the federal government to shut down Lagos and Abuja. So I'm sure, because you're in Port Harcourt, I'm sure there's no corona issue in Port Harcourt because, there's no 5G in Port Harcourt right now. Even the 4G is struggling. What's your take on all this mumbo jumbo that came out from Pastor Chris?
Well, I can't claim to be an expert, but I know that as Africans, as Nigerians, I know that when we can't explain certain things, we spiritualize them. That I know already. And history tells me that in 1918, during the influenza, the great influenza that killed millions of people worldwide, the church, not just in Nigeria, but the church worldwide, they believed that it was the advent of the Antichrist, the end of the world, and that was a sign. In Port Harcourt, where the influenza also killed lots of people, and even in my village, my grandfather told me that at some point they had to go and cry to the village deity to save them, right? So I know that in the 90s, when I was growing up, or in the 80s, I was told by a particular church that if I keep watching football, I'll go to hell. That is of the devil. I know how we talked about the ATM card, how it might be a way of the Antichrist getting to us. I know how we are told that, or how I was told that when filling my bank details, I'm sorry, I'm working from home, but when filling my bank details or when filling an online form, I should not add my house address because that means the Antichrist will know where I live and give me the mark of the beast. I've heard a lot of things. So Pastor Chris has said what he knows. For me personally, I don't believe it. I don't believe what he has said.
All right, me too. I don't believe it. They've been dragging, his apostles have been dragging me on Facebook, but I'm just watching them. So let me get past that one now. Still talking about people coming out to give misguided statements. The highest one in the football world came out from Amaju Pinnick a couple of days ago, where, if Amaju Pinnick speaks, it's the NFF that is speaking because he's the president of the NFF. Just like if Buhari speaks, it's Nigeria that is speaking. So he came out and in an interview, he said that the conditions for Jonathan's contract renewal have been set on the ground. So it's left for him to accept it, or if he doesn't accept it, he'll move on. And part of the condition is that he must stay in Nigeria. He must not travel out of Nigeria more than 3 times in a year. He must help in developing the league and nurturing players. Even Amaju, who was a former club administrator, cannot claim to have served longer in the league than you. So you know how me and you, our grandfather or our big uncle, the late Gomai Rekesoma, go say, if you look for the eye of the fish, you go to the head. So there is no better person to go to than you. These conditions that have been laid out, or the way and manner that Amaju or the NFL through Amaju have come out to say all these things, what do you make of it?
I agree with some of them, but some I don't agree with.
Please lay out the ones that you agree with.
Yes, the ones I agree with, I believe that people should, let me not say must, people should live where they work, right? And have some
in this
days.
2020.
That's why I didn't say must, I say should.
Okay.
And have some days or weeks off to go on holidays. Now, the England manager does not live in Spain or France. He lives in England. And the whole idea is we see him on TV watching league games. Now, it does not mean that he must pick players from every league game he watches. He watches league games. Now, if our coach lives abroad,
let me cut you there. Are you not using not to compare Apple here? The England hold on. The England manager, Gareth Southgate, lives in England, coached the England national team, have a national team where 100% of his players play in the league. Hold on. The NFF president in the last 5 years have led the scouting work of the NFF. He went out, we saw a picture of him with Alex Iwobi. We saw a picture of him with, when we want to unveil our national jersey.
Good. So
if we're giving examples like this, and you know, the NFF president is always the one going out there to go and scout foreign players, why should you not say that because Gareth Southgate lives in England, the Spanish manager lives in Spain, the German manager lives in Germany, the Nigerian manager, let's not forget that 100% of our players lives abroad. So if the manager who is a German lives in Germany, he's not in Nigeria, lives in Germany, it would be easy for him to go monitor all of the players, the same players that Amaju helps to monitor and scout. But if he lives in Nigeria, no matter how long a General lives in Nigeria, he's definitely not going to invite and use Nigerian players. That's why we have the Chan Eagles. So what's the basis of living here where you can't monitor your players abroad?
Now, hold on. I don't like getting into this discussion personally because it always ends in one thing, home base versus foreign base. It always ends that way. And it's not what I want to do now. Now, hold on. Now, you said 100% of our players live abroad. That's not true. I can modify it by saying 100% of the players invited to the national team live abroad. That's not all our players, right? Now, every player, as long as you are Nigerian, you deserve a chance to play for the Super Eagles. Now, if you are good enough, you deserve a chance. Now, but how will I know if Edafe is good enough to broadcast sports or to talk sports on radio if I don't at least listen to his show? You deserve a chance for me to hear your show and not say you are good or you are bad. So if the coach does not watch the players to the league, how does he know they're not good enough? Now, we talked about Amaju. We know what Amaju has done over the past 3 or 4 years. There was a time I challenged him on my weekly column, 7 Minutes with China. I was talking about how he goes abroad, talking to players and encouraging them to play for Nigeria. And I asked him, I said, you never went to Kano to talk to Junior Lokosa and encourage him. You never went to Enugu to talk to a Rangers player to encourage him. So I agree. I'm sure if he sits back in his quiet moment, he knows he has made mistakes. Now, is it possible that the NFL president has turned a new leaf? Well, I'm not even going that way.
It's not possible.
Saying that
it's not possible. I'm not going to give him the benefit of that on that.
So yes, I'm not even going there. I'm only saying that now we cannot keep saying our home-based players are not good enough. We can't keep saying that.
No, that's not what I've said. That's not what I've said.
No, not you. I'm saying if the coach does not watch the league at all, then how can he be certain that there's not even one player good enough for the national team?
Okay, let me
he needs to watch the league.
Let me pause you there. My company happened to be in partnership with the Bayern Youth Cup, and we bring the Bayern Youth Cup to Nigeria every year. We bring the Bundesliga trophy and the Bayern legend. Twice now. Last year it was Klaus Ogontela. This year we brought Giovanni Elba. Now the reason why I'm saying this is the coach of the national team, Gunnar Trust, stays in Abuja at the time. But because we wanted him to be a guest of the event, the weekend event, we reached out to him. Okay, he's a former Bayern player as well, and he was able to come in here. So I'm saying this to myself now. We're organizing a league. It is not what it should be. But if we employ a coach, and while we employ him, must that be part of the condition? Because I don't think Gareth Southgate have a condition in his contract that tells him he must go and watch a league. Now, why not make the league attractive enough for the coach to not say it's just a suggestion thing? Take for instance, I don't need a law to compel you to come to this interview. There is a relationship that already exists between me and you. So I'm going to tap on that relationship. And I'm thinking, how much you can employ a coach? There are leverages that you have over that coach that you say, okay, I'm going to make you work. But then, there are certain things that are written in that new contract that I don't understand. You must earn a naira. The Super Eagles players that you pay them in dollars, and they are Nigerians. But this guy is a German. You want him to earn in naira. How does he convert it? I don't get it. Now, talking about watching the players, if you can convince him the way we convince him to come watch the Bayern Youth Cup in Lagos and in Abuja, he would obviously, from Abuja to Kano, it's 2 hours. If he's driving or maybe take a flight, 45 minutes. He's in Kano. He watched the game and goes. The first thing you do, I remember when Karabo was running the LMC, one of the trick he used to get all the new generation media people. I mean, you don't need anybody to convince you to follow the league, but then there are new generation media people, and he felt these guys are on social media, they're very active. What did he do? He reached out to a lot of them. He also reached out to me, and what he did was, if he's going to watch Sunshine Stars in Akure, he calls you 3 days before. I said, I'm going to Akure this weekend. Would you want to ride with me? Now, there are 2 options in this ride with me. One, you as a young man, you have an opportunity to ride in a car of somebody in the class of Olukarabo, meaning you people will eat on the road, you people will have conversation, you have the opportunity to get some gossip, some information that you don't have. And then it cut on like that. Before you know, people got addicted to the league and they were going on their own without Olukarabo. So I'm thinking, why not use that approach? But wait, what do I know? It's Amadri, he knows everything. You know?
Well, no, like I said, there's no way this conversation will not degenerate to what I'm trying to avoid. Now, in times of intervention, you take drastic measures. For example, the president shut down 3 states in the country. Why? He could have simply appealed to people in Lagos, Abuja, and Ogun State to stay at home. People have just appealed to them. But he says, no, it's a shutdown, it's an order. And that's what you do in times of intervention. When the same Dukarabo took over the league management company, what he did was they brought in a law that says minimum wage is 150,000 naira a month. Have you ever heard that in England or Spain or France? No. Clubs pay what they can pay. But you knew that our league was in financial crisis. Players were not earning what they were supposed to earn. So you made it a law. Whether that law is being obeyed or not is a different matter entirely. What is it? It's intervention. Because this is my thinking, Matthew, right? In the early 90s, when we had this issue of home-based and pro, they would just call them professional players.
Yeah.
Now, whenever a national team goes to camp and you see 18 players dressed and 17 are foreign-based, what we tell ourselves then was that we know that the league is not good enough. They cannot produce the right players. And we agreed. That was in 1990 or 91.
But you know the funny thing, China, that league is way better than this league. Because somewhere in the middle of the 90s, I played in that league.
I want you to understand my point. But you are never called the national team.
No.
Maybe if you are playing in Sri Lanka at that time, you would have been called up to the national team.
I was invited to the under 17. I got injured.
Hold on. My point now is this. Over 30 years later, we are still saying the league is not good enough. And my point remains this. When we lost Acheru to injury and poor form, 20 clubs in the league, not one could give us a left fullback. Not one. We had to bring Brian Ighalo to the World Cup, who we all know was not good enough. When the national team lost its goalkeepers, Vincent Eyama and what happened and Carl who got ill, right? 20 clubs in the league could not give us one goalkeeper. We had to bring semi-professional players in Europe. We brought in somebody that was playing in the 4th division in Portugal. My point now is that if after 30 years, the league cannot provide one player, my point now is that why are we wasting our time playing the league? Now, what I want from an NFF president is to tell us, now, this is my plan. We know the league is not good enough. We can't argue that. Me and you know that the league cannot produce players. We know. Now, but I want an NFF to tell us, we know the league is not good enough, but this is my plan. In the next 2 years, this is what we are going to do. By the 3rd year, this happens. By the 7th year, this happens. By the 10th year, we can have this happening in the league. But no, right from Onea to Galadima to Lulu to Megeri, all of them is the same thing. The league is not good enough. Now, our kids will have children, and our grandchildren will see a national team playing that has 100% foreign base, and our grandkids will still say our league is not good enough. Why do we waste time every weekend? That's my point.
Well, when I played in the league, the league was good enough to produce players. But then,
it didn't.
But it didn't. But then people like Isaac Samitoji, Edema Fuludu, Thompson Olea, Friday Ekpo, Moses Bako, Amokashi before he went to Club Brugge. These guys played in the national team. Amokashi went to Senegal '92 as a Ranch Beast players.
No, that was Ojas 90.
Okay, Ojas 90, sorry.
Ojas 90, yeah.
You know, so some of these players actually played in the national team and got playing time. But the way it is today, it is almost impossible. Let's be very honest. It's almost impossible. First, the league is not consistent. The games are not played when they are supposed to be played. The stories around it is, when I played in the league, we didn't have all this type of breaks. Let's be honest. When I played in the league, we were going for matches and coming back, mid-season break, and then we resume again, and then the league runs. Now, our league goes on strike more than ASU, more than Thunder. As a matter of fact, instead of it to say Thunder fire you, I would say the MPFL fire you, because it will go on strike. We go on strike for practically everything.
I think you're still missing my point. Our league is rubbish.
Good.
Our league is horrible. But what I'm saying now is that we have been saying the same thing for more than 30 years.
Yeah, because in these 30 years, you just said something that's for me very brilliant. Nobody has come out with a roadmap. The one time we were close to having a roadmap with Unduka Rabo, Amaju won and bought an election and won it in Delta State, and then the quota system card deny us of everything. Now we are back to where we started again. So every time we take one step forward, we're always taking 50 steps backward. So try to understand, it means that we are 49 steps in deficit. We'll start walking forward again. And then maybe we'll take 30 steps forward. That makes us 19 steps in deficit. Just when we think, oh, we're 19 steps away from getting to where we should have been 30 years ago, we'll take another 50 steps forward. That now take us 69 steps behind in deficit. So the league will not be good in that regard. I'm sorry to say, but and it's bad that I played in the league and I'm saying this. But there was a time when we had Kennedy Boboye scare in this league. Finidi George had to go to Europe before he made the national team. There was a time when we had one of the best fullback in the league, Joe Imofe. He played under you, so you know him very well. I'm not saying this because I just want to say it. Joe Imofe.
No, but even when Joe Imofe was at Dolphins and one of the best fullbacks in the league, he never got the Super Eagles invitation.
That's my point. You know why? You know why? Because you have Ifeanyi Udeze, you have Taye Taiwo, and what matter was that Joe Imofe went to Europe and couldn't find his feet. I don't know what happened in Ukraine. I can't explain it. He's my own boy. I know him very well. Let's not dwell on this matter and forget that we have other things to discuss. One of the major talking points for all Nigerians, I know you don't like this, you're a Liverpoolian, unfortunately, we're not going to win the league the way it is so. Ighalo is the rave of the moment, and I want to talk about him. If you are called now, I don't call you and say, bros, I am confused because no Nigerian player has ever been in this type of position before. Historically, too, no footballer has been in this type of position. You're playing for your dream club. At 30 plus, you are back to Europe after your career had almost hit the wind down button. You retired for a national team. You had forgotten. And out of nowhere, out of the blues, a tsunami happened and you moved from China on loan to Manchester United. And then it happens to be the year that Liverpool almost won the league. That's 5G now. use their network to scatter the league. So now you are to advise Odio Ighalo. There is £400,000 a week. Or is it £500,000 a week in Shanghai, Shanghai? Manchester United is not going to give him that because they made that mistake with Alexis Sanchez. It didn't pay off. But he's been scoring goals. He's a lucky charm of the team, himself and Bruno Fernandes. And then let's say hypothetically, because Manchester United have not made an offer, but Manchester United gives him an offer of £1,000 a week. He is 31 plus. China, what's going to be the advice you give to him? Because a lot of people have asked me this, and I've said my own. But it seems like my own is not correct. What's going to be the advice you give to Jude Bellingham?
It's simple. If Odio Ighalo, being the age he is, was offered, this young man will let me rest.
No problem.
Now, if Odio Ighalo okay, go. Now, if Odio Ighalo, being the age he is offered, naturally offered £400,000 a week, I would say grab the money because that's a good retirement benefit. But it's a different scenario right now. He's playing in the Europa Cup with Manchester United. He's scoring goals. Now, I would advise him to take whatever Man United gives him for a permanent deal. Because if 5G and the church pastors leave us alone, he has at least 1 or 2 more seasons playing in Europe, either in the Champions League or in the Europa Cup. And with his goal-scoring form, he can still go back to either the Chinese league or somewhere in the Middle East or even the MLS for that retirement package. So it's like coming out of retirement to enjoy the best of your football in your dream club. So for me, I would say, based on the circumstances, he should take United's money. You never can tell what goal he was scoring in the Europa Cup that can give him some other contract, some other big money, but I think he has made enough money in China. 3 years in the Chinese league, yeah, he should take his chances in England, and he can possibly go back to China, the Middle East, or the MLS.
All right. Before I leave the Odion conversation, some people say he should come back to the national team. You've seen it all in that department. You think he should come back to the national team where we have Samuel Kalu, Chukwueze, Dessa, Rave of the Moment, my favorite Nigerian striker right now, Victor Osimhen. Do you think they should appeal to him? How much you should go and beg him to come back?
Personally, I was not happy when he quit because the way he was scoring goals, I think he would have surpassed Yakubu and Shego Digbami's goals to become second in our all-time list behind Yekini. That's what I thought. So I was a bit disappointed when he quit the national team. Now, on the lighter side, you talked about Amadu going to beg him. It won't be the first time we are begging players. Remember when 3 members of the NFF went to London to beg Yakubu Ibeni? 3 wise men. So it won't be the first time we are begging.
That's why I use the word beg.
Yeah. Having said that, now, as a street rule, right? You don't go back to your old girlfriend unless not for hit and run. But you don't go back for your old girl. You don't go back to your old girlfriend. Why are you laughing now?
Baddest guy in the neighborhood.
you said we should be straight up here.
Okay. Yeah.
I we just straight up here. Yeah. So as a rule, you don't go back to your old girlfriend. Like I said, except not for hit and run. So the Super Eagles will be like an old girlfriend to Odio Ighalo. And then let's look at players that came back from retirement. How has it happened well for them? Let's go back to the 80s. In 1981, we brought back Christian Chukwu and the rest, Emmanuel Okala, to come back and help us qualify for the World Cup. We saw the disaster against Algeria. Let's come back a bit. France 98, we brought back Peter Rufai, who had quit the national team. We saw the disaster it was, and Nigerians have forgotten about Rufai's best years. They remember him with France 98.
Denmark, yeah.
So sometimes it can be a disaster. Algeria has had good games for the national team, right? I think if he has made up his mind should stay made up. That's my thinking.
Okay.
Because there are no guarantees.
As we wind down,
he could come back and do well. He could come back and flop. There are really no guarantees.
Okay. As we wind down, I've got a few questions more lined up. When the PSL, the South African League, were coming up and rebranding, rebuilding, and setting themselves up for the market, they got to a stage where they felt, you know what, let's go out there and get an expatriate. So I think they went to Sweden to bring in somebody to become the league manager, the administrator of the league, I think for a 4 years or 5 years period, and it set the ball in motion. Would you subscribe to the fact, because in my own opinion, the world's most incompetent human being running football right now in the whole universe, both in Pluto, Mars, Venus, Uranus, anywhere, is Shehu Diko. And for that reason, it is easy for anybody to say, even our under-17 foreign-based players should play there. Do you subscribe to us going out there and employing somebody on contract, giving him mandate and say, look, this is what we want with our league. Get it happen. After 5 years you go, maybe we would take it from where you are.
Sometime in 1989, I listened to a sports pundit on TV. I'm not sure, it's either Shego Debami or Judo Rumen. I'm not sure which of them. Now, it was this issue of home-based coach and foreign-based coach. And he gave an analogy. He said, if you bring the best surgeon in the world to the university teaching hospital in Ibadan to perform a surgery, he's the best surgeon in the world. If while on the table operating on the person, NEPA takes lights and there's no standby generator, the patient will die. And he says, it does not stop that guy from being the best surgeon in the world. He's still the best surgeon in the world, but circumstances around him. Now, I think, right, now you just rated Shehu Diko as the most incompetent administrator in the world. Now, you know your parameters for that. In the universe, you know your parameters for that. But I'm here thinking that I don't know who's going to succeed in the Nigerian league. I really don't know. Because even if you bring whoever runs the EPL right now to Nigerian league, he will still be choked by pressure. It's a league that clubs will chase out TV cameras from the stadium.
Well, Unukarabao was making progress. He was making progress. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah,
he was making progress.
You say he was making progress.
Yeah.
He had not made progress.
He was making progress.
Was not finalized.
He was on the road.
He was on the process.
Yeah.
But that was a league, even under Unukarabao, as much as he tried, where you hear a club general manager will say, how can SuperSport come and put my players under pressure? It's the same league that a club in the Southwest cut down the tree and blocked the road so SuperSport Obi-Wan cannot pass to show their games. That's how primitive and crude our clubs are. So it's going to be difficult for anybody to succeed. We need to sit ourselves down and ask ourselves questions. One, why do we have a league? What is the point of a league? What do the clubs or the state government or the players gain from the league? Now, you can bring whoever you want to the Nigerian league, as long as you have that mindset, where every club has area boys whose job it is to harass match officials and harass the media. So the issue with Nigerian league, I'm sure all the interviews you have done in your life cannot solve the issue with Nigerian league. So yes, Shehu Diko has not done well. I'm sure he knows it. I'm sure he knows it. He has not done well.
I don't think he knows it.
But the truth now is that.
I don't think he knows it.
You said what?
I don't think he knows it.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he sits down at home at night, looks in the mirror, and tells himself the truth. Right?
And why not take a walk? Why not take a walk? I mean, you're failing as a monumental failure at something. And you don't seem one. Unukarabao was a good listener. Baribote was a crazy guy, but he does good. Oh, Davidson Owumi does not understand what it is to run a league, but he tried. The late Obaseki came in there to feed his family, but he's tried. I can't seem to see anything that Shehu Diko is doing. He's traveling everywhere. He's taking pictures. At his age, he's still interested in doing selfies with Infantino. At his age. I'm not going to go anywhere and be snapping pictures with Infantino now. I'm the administrator. Do you see the EPL chairman or the chairman of the La Liga or the snapping picture with Infantino and putting it on social media? It doesn't work that way. The greatest achievement of Shehu Diko is that he has snapped picture with almost everybody. Ahmad, Infantino, Seferin, and the rest of them. That's his greatest achievement. When Unukarabao was running this league, We didn't even get to see him or hear him. But we notice his actions. Yes, I agree with all these things that you said, but let's move on. There's one blast from the past that I've always said I will ask you, and every time I interview, I'm going to ask you to explain more because you can't explain it all today. Don't have all the time in this world. Before I ask you that blast of the past, say that if you I like this moment.
My heart is beating.
I know. Do you think that Victor Osimhen is a £100 million player today? Now, let me give you a precursor to that. Yaya Sanogo, sorry, Nicolas Pepe or Nicolas Yaya Sanogo Pepe is what was bought for £72 million from the same Lille. Osimhen is younger. Osimhen is a good scorer. Do you think Osimhen right now is worth £100 million? And if you want to advise him, Chelsea, Man United, FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, where would you want him to go to?
I think we must just agree that football has gone crazy. So players who are bought these days are being overpriced. So having established that, I would say Osimhen is worth 100 million and more, depending on the club who's buying. Okay. And the clubs you've mentioned, Real Madrid, Barcelona, United, and Chelsea, are the kind of clubs that can spend 100 million on Osimhen if they think he's someone they need. If you look at these four clubs right now, I would say either of Madrid or Barcelona will do at this point when you consider what is going on within the ranks of these clubs right now. For United, it seems, and by the statements of the manager, that they are satisfied with what they have already, with Rashford, with Martial, and of course with Greenwood, Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is Man United, right?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah, Greenwood, and of course Ighalo that they have now. And it seems that the manager has a lot of confidence in Rashford leading the lines. Anybody who goes to United now will not be a starting player, and that's not what we want for our man Osimhen at this time. For Chelsea, they have obvious issues in attack. Now, our own Tammy Abraham, it seems like they don't trust him as much as they should. And I'm here thinking that if Osimhen goes to Chelsea, he might just do well there, he might just start. For Madrid and Barca, the crisis they have now is that they are in a rebuilding process. Karim Benzema keeps scoring goals, but we know that sooner or later, they will want younger legs, faster legs. And Osimhen's record in France, it speaks for itself. It completely speaks for itself. So, Spain, I'm here thinking, yes. Look at Barca, they are signing substitute attackers just to patch up the time until the next window opens. Suarez is over 30. Of course, Messi over 30. They need someone that will lead the lines in the next 5, 10 years. So, and they have the kind of money to pay. So, for Osimhen has to leave France and Lille. Those might be good destinations for him.
All right. Finally, please explain
Ask
to
me
me.
now. Stop threatening me.
Explain to me how a couple of years ago, I've forgotten the year now, but I know what happened. So let me use the event. I forget the year. How Dolphins put players, you were in the team, or put players in a plane, flew from here to Tunisia, drive around the roundabout, enter plane, and came back. Please explain that thing to me. Now let me ask you.
We had a bilateral. No, we have a bilateral agreement.
You are speaking like a politician.
You ask me that question when I'm live in your studio.
Bilateral is a word that politicians use. You are not the Secretary of State. You are not foreign affairs.
Okay. This is what happened, right? This is what happened, right? We had a game in Tunisia, right? Yeah. And we had political issues around the state at that time. You know the issues in River State then between half of the state breaking from PDP to APC. In fact, the ruling party, we know all of that. Let me not go into politics. Now, the players got scared that, look, we haven't been paid, and we may not be paid. And in the previous game they had played in Malabo, they felt a bit shortchanged regarding their travel extra code. They felt shortchanged. So before the trip, they demanded to have their extra code before they get on the plane. And truth be told, that money was not available anywhere. Truth be told. Now, what I heard was the GM of the club. I'm being very careful with my words. What I heard was that the GM of the club tried to reach the commissioner, who tried to reach government house, and the response he got was in the line of, "We're not interested." So we have to make moves. And while the players were at the camp saying they will not travel, we had a flight that was supposed to leave Port Harcourt to Lagos and catch a connecting flight to Dubai and then our base in North Africa. Eventually, the players missed the flight. But in the heat of the moment, I think the league management company, once again led by Nduka Rabo, they gave us a loan. They didn't make this public, but it was a grant or loan, call it what you wish. That was how the players were able to agree to go to the airport. But by the time we got to the airport, we had missed our flights. Simple. We had missed our flight. And you know, we are supposed to connect on that flight from Lagos to Dubai and then Tunisia. So by the time we got the next available flight and we got to Lagos at night, the flight that was leaving Lagos to Dubai had gone. So we are stranded in Lagos. That's how the players slept at the airport that night, because first we never get money to eat, not to go pay for hotel.
Okay.
So the players all slept, including me. We all slept at the hotel at the airport that night. By the time we got a connecting flight the next morning that would take us to Dubai, spend 5 hours in Dubai, and now go to Tunisia, we arrived at the airport in Tunis about 2 hours to kick off. 2 hours to kick off. Now, while we are in Lagos, we are speaking to CAF, we are speaking to the match commissioner, asking to move the game by 1 day or by maybe a few hours. But that request was turned down. We arrived in Tunisia about 2 hours to kick off. Immigration formalities. We got to the bus that was provided by the home team that had Tunisian drivers, and that your roundabout gist is not a lie. They took us around Tunis, you know, on a tour of Tunis, acting like we are trying to evade traffic to take us to the stadium. But we didn't understand because we are speaking Arabic. We didn't understand. But by the time we got to the stadium, people were leaving the stadium, and we are wondering why. You know, walkover formalities have been done, and we just took a tour of the stadium and went back to our hotel. So that's what. Yes, you are right. We drove roundabouts and all. That's what happened. It was a sad moment. It was a complete waste of time, but that's what happened.
All right.
If your next question will be, who do we blame?
No, I'm actually not trying to blame.
Who do I blame for that?
No, because I've been in the system and I understand that. I can't blame. I can't answer that question. The next comment I wanted to make was to say to you that I will confidently tell you that if Nduka Rabo was not running the LMC at that time, if this is your brother now, Shehu Diko was the one running it, you will not even go to the airport. You will be in Port Harcourt because there will be no money for you. Truth be told, they will not provide money for you. That proactive thinking from Nduka Rabo, God bless him wherever he is, will not have come up. I still have some time. I like talking to you anyway. I still have some time. And
okay, so I'm here, Jane. Ask me anything.
Yeah,
Ask me anything, including my favorite food.
I have to come back again to the league. You know, we've talked about so many things that needs to change about football, and my own theory, the thesis that I've always put forward is it has nothing to do with the LMC right now or the NFF at first, even though they need to enforce laws and maybe government also need to support by passing some laws that will enable what my plans are. I'm thinking that it is time for state governors to stop owning football clubs and then divest it. When I say stop owning, it does not mean they just leave their hand. They should divest it to the state. If a governor like Governor Wike comes out and say, Rivers State, this Rivers United is your team. No team can be more your team than the name of this team, Rivers United, Rivers State team. We are going to set up a website that offers crowdfunding. Now, if you want this club to run and continue to run, go and sign up the way you have in Barcelona, Real Madrid. Go and sign up as a member. your annual membership is 5,000 naira. Your annual membership is 5,000 naira. But for starters, because we are the owners of the club and we're transferring this responsibility to you, we're going to give 2 billion naira into this project. And it's going to be a club trust account that is going to be managed by you people. So the first set of people who come in and register and sign up, out of you guys, you will elect and vote for your club president and chairman. The thing will be transparent. How many players that are signed, coaches that are signed, everything will come in. So everybody in the state knows that this is their club. The same for Imo, the same for Aba, the same for Kano and everywhere. You know that this is your club. So in your office, as a corporate comms manager, if you are in charge of corporate comms in your company and you're looking for sponsors, things to sponsor, you know that you can say, no, our club, now let's put sponsorship on our club. By so doing, one, there'll be a lot of fund, because 2 billion naira, for instance, for a start to, I was thinking 5 billion, but 2 billion naira, for instance, could run a club for 1.5 seasons or 2 seasons if judiciously managed. Thereafter, the money that each person have been using to register, let's say 5,000 annual subscription that offers you access to match, one jersey or two, depending on, there's going to be bronze, silver, gold, and premium category. So there are people who are on premium, who are the people that would be on the VIP stand. It also means that the governors will need to re-engineer the stadiums and all of that. So once that is done, that money that is coming, let's say 50,000 people in the state go on that flat bronze level of 5,000 naira. Nobody is on premium, nobody is on gold, nobody's on diamond, platinum level now. 50,000 people times 5,000 naira for 1 year subscription would have overtaken the 2 billion that was originally given. And then we would have a club that is financially sufficient. The state will no longer, from the 3rd year going, the state will no longer be responsible for funding it, thereby freeing up money to take care of civil service, thereby also freeing the club to run as an independent club. The state now will only have a 50+1 stake in the club, and that is the reason why they are the ones responsible for taking care of the stadium, making sure that the grass is green, making sure that water runs in the stadium, making sure that the generator is working well, making sure that there is security in and around the stadium, making sure that the road network to and out of the stadium is taken care of. So that's their ownership. But the other 49% is owned by these 50,000 people who determine what, where, why, how, things are done in the club. I think this is my theory, this is my thesis. If I'm writing a PhD thesis, that's what I'll write. But you are older than me in this game from all sides. Only thing maybe I think I have better than you. You were once a right fullback or left fullback. You said I played the game, but you also play the game too. So, what do you think of that idea? You said what?
I played choosing.
No, but you play for Uniport's team now. I heard that you play for Uniport team, fullback.
No, I did not. I didn't play for the school team. But that's by the way. Now I think you just spoke English, right? Now, what you said just now, Matthew, will work, right? If you work, maybe in Kano, maybe in Jos, if you can convince the people, maybe in Maiduguri, maybe in Bauchi, but in most of the south states, I don't see it's going to work. In Port Harcourt, for instance, nobody or not up to 50 people are ready to commit 200 naira to Rivers United every week, every match day. And that means for 19 home matches, we're talking about 3,800 naira. We don't.
Oh, it seems like I've lost China there.
You see, nature abhors a vacuum,
yeah.
Right? At the time in the 90s, when we destroyed the Nigerian league because of selfish interests, because of politics, at that time, cable TV flowed into Nigeria.
Yeah.
And we were able to see an alternative. And like Oyuki Obaseki told me once, he said, the people we are competing with are way above our level.
Absolutely.
So for me, what you said is theory, is paper. Now, before you tell people to do this crowdfunding, 5,000 naira a year to register, you need to ask them, are they interested in the league? Now, you need to first get people interested in the league. And as far as I'm concerned, you see me and you, our generation, we are not interested.
Okay, but let me cut in there. Yeah. I want to use our brother that we both know. Imama Mapakabo went to Enugu. And, my teammate, my senior anyway, but my teammate, and we had a chat. I remember when he went to play the FA Cup in his first season, and referee, the officiating was bad, and he was ranting. I called him on the phone. He's my brother, so I told him I can't get to you on social media, so I have to talk to you one-on-one. If you ask him this, he will tell you. I called him on the phone. I said, Imama, your team is in third position on the league. If you're not careful, you'll fight relegation before this season ends. This is the rule of the game. It's the unwritten rule. Once you insult referees or call out referees, they will all come for you. They are Illuminati. The real Illuminati that we're talking about, they are the ones. They would come for you and almost relegate you. But this is what I need you to do. Go out there, make apology, take all the fall that you will fall. But next season, build a fortified 12th man. Go out there and go and visit some of the top Igbo boys in Enugu. Talk to them that, see, guys, I want to win this league for you people. It's been 30 years, like Jogging Club and Liverpool. I want to win this league for you people, but I need your support. I want this stadium packed full so that when referees come here, they'll be afraid. I will go away and get as much result as I can get. And if you remember, Enugu Rangers had 19 home games on Super Sports. 19. All their home games were on Super Sports. The Enugu Stadium that we used to know, Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, became the cathedral. And true to time, one short Okrika man showed up out of nowhere, became the Pope, the Bishop, and won the league. Now, he was able to get people who draw the interest of Enugu people, and they rally around him. It's not going to happen overnight. It's like, I am doing something very crazy. Like, how do you leave Brilla FM? It's time to go and get a job and be any salary. You say you want to start your own. I'm doing something crazy, but I believe in it so much. They say when you start telling yourself something so much, it takes a spiritual form. It begins to act in you. Remember when I had this conversation with you in 2017, that this is what I want to do. It didn't make sense now, but you said, go ahead. I
thought you had lost your mind, but I encouraged you.
Good. But you said, go ahead.
Yes, I did.
2017 and 2020 is just less than 3 years. Do you still think I have lost my mind?
Of course not. Of course not.
So, no. I'm not saying that theory will work instantly. I am saying, let it be a work in progress, a pipeline, and then we will keep it going, and then we will eventually get there.
Yeah, let me tell you something about Enugu Rangers, right? Enugu Rangers is not a football club. It's a movement.
Okay.
It's a spirit.
Okay.
Now, I know you've been to Enugu lots of times. You probably played league games here in Enugu. Probably played league in Enugu. Now, see, I'm not a Rangers fan, but whenever I go into the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium,
wow,
I can't explain what comes over me.
It's Anfield.
Now, if you know Nigeria's history, at the time when the war ended, right, the people of Eastern Nigeria, they felt abandoned. They felt like they had no home. At that time, Enugu Rangers was created. It was seen as the shining light to every Igbo man. The average Igbo man does not see Rangers as a football club. To them, it's a movement. Now, so it's easy for any coach to walk into the market, to walk into the banks, and rekindle this spirit. Now, you see what I'm saying now is that, you know how old you are, I know how old I am, or you can guess how old I am. Now,
yes.
People of our age level, whether they work in banks or in the oil company, if they are football lovers, as much as they may be fans of Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal, sit down and talk to them over a bottle of beer or whatever you drink.
And
they will begin to tell you stories
of Rivers United for life.
Yes, no, and they'll begin to tell you about, in 1983, when I watched Rangers of Kano Pillars, in 1989, when I watched Sharks, ICC. These were all fans of the Nigerian League who abandoned it for something else. And I'm saying here that for our generation, we've lost our generation. The MD of XYZ Bank will not go to Agege Stadium to watch a game when he's not sure what happens at the end of the game. They will rather sit in their homes or sit in a cool bar. The generation following us, my brother, whether I like it or not, we've lost them. Go to our universities. I was chatting at Uniport one day, and I mentioned Nigerian League. And 3 ladies were shocked. They started laughing. They thought I was joking. I said, why? They said, is there a league in Nigeria? So I thought they were joking. They said, no, we know about EPL, La Liga, but do we have a league? I said, yes. They now asked me, you mean we have real football clubs? I'm not joking.
No, I face that conversation every day. You see,
exactly.
China, let's not mix it. Yesterday, I was speaking with fans of ELEGBETE1 and they were like, oh, the way you are, you should have done this. You should call Alibaba, Ighalo, let them promote you. And I said to them, it is a sense of entitlement for you to think that people owe you a favor. And that is where I always fought Sheudiko. We think that the generation or the children or the people who have options, who we gave options, owe us a favor. They don't owe us a favor. Okay? What we need to do is to cajole them, is to convince them. Sure, there was foreign music at me and you, our generation, when we did party at Dreams Nightclub, bootleggers.
I didn't go with you.
Your father, your papa. You. When we go there, what were we playing? We were playing Cool and the Gang, Earthwing and Fire, John Kelly, Busta Rhymes. Today, if you do a party, if you bring back drinks or you go to poolside presidential hotel, the music that you're going to hear is up to bottom Nigerian music. But then let's not forget that when we were playing Cool and the Gang and the rest of them, and you know, the OJs, the BJs, and the rest of them, Nigerian musicians were singing. We had the Yoka Wenos and Yokosun, what's that guy in Port Harcourt that was living in Rumala near Dandis? Oh, I've forgotten his name now. All of these guys were singing, but we're not playing their music. But they did something and re-engineer it. Now, I would listen to Don Kamaiti, whether I like it or not, I'll listen to him, listen to Wizkid, listen to this guy that have frog voice, what's his name? Davido. You know, all of them. My point is, Nigerian football clubs, the league, and lovers of the league, my generation and your generation, should not be entitled and think it's going to happen overnight. I also know that we are the most copycat people in the world. So, if that movement in Enugu comes into reality, the movement in Kano, I've been in Kano, I've watched more games since I started playing football. I've watched more games in Sani Abacha Stadium than any other stadium in Nigeria. You won't believe. You won't believe this, but I've watched more games in Sani Abacha Stadium than any other stadium in Nigeria. That movement, I've been caught in the middle of a match before where the match ended in a draw and the Barum Banker, this one, that I was in the middle of that mob. Now, if we create that and people see it, we are quick to copy. I was telling somebody that all ELEGBETE1 needs to change the story is to be successful. Once this is successful, everybody who is a journalist will start having online.
You're right.
So it's the same thing with that. So if we can replicate it in 2 or 3 states and see it working, and then see, Nigerians like money. We like good life. If Enugu Rangers does that, and at the end of the season they come out and say our balance sheet is 5 billion naira. This is what I said. We are going to go to Ghana and sign Kweku Akwado, their top goal scorer. I will sign him for 2 million Ghanas, okay, and bring him to Nigeria. We're going to go to Cote d'Ivoire and sign the top goal scorer in the Ivorian League, Pierre, whatever it is, and bring him to Nigeria. And then they play that season, the twin strikers, the guy from Ghana and the guy from Cote d'Ivoire, bombard everybody with goals. People will now realize that, oh, this thing that is working in Enugu Rangers, and then like Orlando Pirates did in '95, if I'm not mistaken, they won the CAF Champions League, and then everything changed in Nigerian football and in South African football. If that works, everybody will now say, I think this is what everybody should do. That becomes the game changer. So what we need, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying the 20 clubs will do it, over 400 clubs in Nigeria will do it. I am saying 2 or 3 should practice it, take a gamble, and say, we're going to do this for the next 5 years. If you work, you work. If it doesn't work, it's like what I'm doing. I tell my wife every day, I say, this is a 10 years project. If it doesn't work in 10 years' time, I'll be 50. 10 years from now, okay, which is I've done 2 years, I'm 42. 8 years from now, I'll be 50.
You'll be small boy.
I know. I'm not telling me I know. When I did university, you don't be lecturer. I know. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me. I know. So either ways, I will not go back and tell my children that I wanted to do it, but I was so afraid to do it. I will tell them that I did it. Maybe I failed. You guys can continue from where I stopped. Because 10 years from now, my 8-year-old son will be 18. His generation is a gadget generation. So I think that's what we should be looking at, because these political parties will change. Election year will come, clubs will suffer for the first 2 years, the league will keep suffering. That's why we don't get them to play in the national team, because every time we conduct an election and there's one government moving to another, it takes 2 years for that thing to stable, or 18 months for it to stabilize. In that 18 months, our football always suffer. We get all those break in transition, the league suspended, all of those things. But if the league is not away from the government, then there is that, transition of money. Because money is what makes the league run. Money is what makes it run. Take away the money from the EPA. The EPA is worse than state league in Nigeria. It's worse than youth sport. So once we can get that sorted, bros, between you and me, we are back again. People will be talking about us. 10 years ago, were you talking about Man City? Was Man City a problem? If Liverpool played Man City, even though they were playing in the EPA,
No.
when they had Sean Gotta, they had all those Mumu players, Steve Island. Was anybody talking about them?
Now, hold on. Now, the people who put their money in Manchester City, yes, they are there for business, true. But if they had no idea what Manchester City was, they will not put their money in Manchester City.
Absolutely.
Now, the people that will change Nigerian football is your 8-year-old son, who will turn 18 in 10 years, and my sons, not the touts at the stadium.
No.
They don't buy tickets, they don't buy merchandise, they just have to fight and beat referees and destroy the game. Now, but if my son and your son have no idea what the league is, but they know everything about the EPL and La Liga, how can they change Nigeria?
I saw you initiating your son the other day, your children the other day, that one of the good.
Exactly. Because I turn on the TV.
Man United.
Yeah, because I turn on the TV and my son sees Liverpool jersey. He knows Salah, he knows Mane, he knows John Terry, he knows DJ Drogba. But the first day I mentioned Junior Loposa at home, they started laughing. They thought I was joking. Did you understand what I meant by Loposa? And at that time, they had scored 16 goals in the league.
Too bad.
And that's the point. And that's the point. Do you blame me? I'm not going to die for Nigerian league.
No, you've done your bit.
If I want to get a Nigerian club jersey for my sons, I can't get it anywhere.
You'll be begging. I've been begging for Rangers jersey to buy you.
Yes, so
for 9 years now.
And that's the point. Now that's the point. Now, for this to happen, right? I was about to explain that we've lost our generation, we've lost the next. It is the 0 to 10-year-olds that we should be teaching about the league. They are the ones that will come with the money, with the technology, and change the way Rivers United is run, and change the way Go Round FC is run, and change the way Kano Pillars is run. But how can they do it when we keep them at home, in front of cable TV, playing PS4, watching the EPL and La Liga? How can they change the Nigerian league? They will rather want to buy into the EPL and not the Nigerian league. Now, but how can we decide that they can change the Nigerian league? Where is the Nigerian league? Where is it really? Where is it? My sons have told me before, Daddy, can we follow you to the stadium? I do not want it. I don't. Because one, our stadiums are not built for enjoyment. They are built for suffering. How can I come out at 2 p.m. and sit under the sun for 4 hours? Now make us Nigeria problem. That's how our stadiums are built.
Yeah.
Now you go to the stadium.
Oh, network is gone. And I can't get you. You're frozen.
Hello, is it better now?
Okay, it's better now. I can get you now.
Okay, I'm saying you're driving to the stadium in Port Harcourt, and the people selling tickets are militants. So if person like me don't get mine, I will turn around and go to my house.
That's true.
So if we cannot, in quote now, indoctrinate our children to the NPFL, then we are going to lose them. But how can we do that? What is the NPFL really? You saw that video. I was telling my son, the 3 rules of being a Liverpool fan is this, that. Then they can see what I tell them. They can see it. Where do you see the league?
I think your guy said he signed a $225 million TV deal, Next TV, and I mean, have faith. You know, you like Chewdiko. Have faith. Chewdiko will show you on Next.
I have never for once spoken about that Next TV deal. Never. You know why? Because I heard about the deal.
It's like APC Next Level,
and nobody explained it. Nobody explained the deal. I mean, I've spoken with Chewdiko about the deal before, but I mean, with due respect to him, his explanation did not make sense to me.
You see?
It did not.
You see why I use the word incompetence?
It did not. So,
you looked at me like, why is this guy saying this? But that's incompetence.
You know,
if you cannot, something that you are running, something that you own. The first day I came to you in Port Harcourt in 2017, and I was talking about this ELEGBETE TV, did you catch the vision? Did you see it? Don't forget that it was intangible.
Of course I did.
Nothing was visible. That day I didn't have my own camera. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have office, no studio. But you saw what I was saying. And as time goes on, all of those things that I was saying are beginning to manifest. Right? How can the man who is running our league, he's been there for over 4 years now, the guy who's in charge, is the chancellor of the exchequer for the league, is the man, is the driver of the vehicle. You enter a plane, you're going to New York from Lagos, and then all of a sudden, mid-air, a voice coming. Hello, this is the captain speaking. I've lost. I don't know where we're going. No, I don't know where we are. I don't know where we're going. That's exactly how when I hear Chewdiko talk, that's exactly what I hear. Like the captain, the pilot of the plane, saying, "I don't know where we are, and I don't know where we're going. You people should just pray." That's how I hear. And if you can't communicate an idea, but what's it called? Unukarabo communicated an idea, a philosophy to me, and I saw it. I went to his office. Don't forget, me and Unukarabo, we were at loggerheads. We were fighting. We almost went to court. But then the man sold the league to me, and I bought into it. The same way when I call you to explain something.
Maybe you should give Chewdiko a chance to sell the league to you.
When he sold Next TV to you, did you see anything to buy? You that are giving him first, second, third, all the chance in the world. You eat on the same table with him. When he sold Next TV to you, did you buy anything? I have reached out to him. It's not about me, but I'm saying that the general public, if me and you that knows the league, I played in the league, you followed the league long before I showed up. You know, I was lucky to play in the league for 2.5 seasons. If I can't buy what he's selling, why do you think the guy on the streets is going to buy it? This is serious business. This is a $5 billion business a year that we're talking about. Comedians, let me not mention them now. Comedians cash out in one show between 400 to 500 million in one show at a hotel. In one show. We have a league that have 380 games. In one season, we cannot cash out 2 million naira. Are we not cost? No, are we not cost? Do you think comedy is not lucrative and AY is living in that big house? Comedy is not lucrative and Alibaba is paying billions for his office and studio. You think comedy is not lucrative and basketball is flying everywhere? You think they didn't go to university? Or do you think they can't get a job in the bank? These guys sit at home and they're living like kings and queens. Even our president will go and pay them visits. See, the time for us to come to the rescue of our citizens. See, our foreign-based footballers, our comedians are doing giveaway. How many people in Nigerian league is doing giveaway? We can't. We can't.
Them need the giveaway now.
They need, you see, but this type of giveaway is what will attract people to do. Somebody in the Nigerian league gave me this money. This morning I gave out. Let me never say it. It's not meant to be said. It's not meant to be mentioned. But my point is, we need to become salesmen for the league. Somebody sold the EPL to us. I was here. I was in Port Harcourt when we used to call the English league kick and follow, police game. We used to watch the Bundesliga. We used to watch the Dutch league. The Italian league was our league. Somebody repackaged the league, sold it to us, and now people, when I say people argue that the English league is the best league in the world, I was like, was it not in 1990 we're calling this league police league? Kick and follow, big parachutes, Jesse. Times have changed. So we can do the same thing if we painstakingly work. That's my pain. And I hate the fact that whenever you talk about the problem, there's always going to send 1, 2, or 3 hungry journalists to come and attack you, and then the matter ends. Nobody takes the context of what you're saying. They try to attack your character. The other day I said something, somebody said, a journalist will get that in the talk, who will listen to you? What has a journalist having dreadlock got to do with a point that a player died on the field of play and nobody, you're in a committee that is supposed to investigate it too. Nobody has told me that the insurance money, because if all players are meant to be insured, the insurance money, the check, we've not seen a picture. If not to take selfie with Infantino now, we'll see picture. We've not seen Shehu Diko with the parents or the family or next of kin of this boy giving them the insurance check. Or Shehu Diko on top of the matter to make sure that the insurance company come and pay. But if it is to show us picture of him and Infantino or Seferin or Ahmad, useless things, we will see them everywhere. And then journalists will be, what do we call him? People are hating on him and he's making progress. How does snapping picture with Infantino represent progress, for crying out loud's sake? 500,000 naira, I will go to Switzerland and I will snap picture with Infantino. Is that progress? I want to snap picture with Seferin. I will go to a UEFA Champions League game and I will snap picture with the guy. Is that progress? How is that progress? In line with what you are asked to do. But then you see adults telling you, even though they are hating, no matter the hatred, you are making progress. What is progress? Progress is snapping picture with Infantino. Then the day you snap picture with Obama, what will you say? Your name will be written in the book of life. Shana, thank you very much for your time, Sha. I hope I call you again and I rant like this. But as I'm letting you people were supposed to be the committee that investigates the death of that player, Martins Chineme of Nasarawa United. What is the current status of the investigation? That was
is this the last question, or is there another last question?
That's the final one.
Okay, it was set up in Benin, right?
Yeah.
And our terms of reference, we are basically 3. Fashion out a security plan for the league, a safety plan for the league, then looking through the causes of his death, and also fashion out a medical plan for the league. Now, for security and safety, we are able to deliberate on that in Benin, because these are things we know, and we easily made reference to the CAF safety regulations and that from FIFA. So we discussed all of that in Benin, 16 of us in the committee, but there are 13 in Benin, and we were able to finalize on that. We took a recess. A few days later, we arrived in Abuja, and we went to Lafayette. This was now the main thing about Martins Chineme. We held discussions with the FA chairman, the FA secretary, the club chairman, Daladi Isaac, the club secretary, the club coach, the medical personnel of the team, and the captain and the player. We asked questions, we checked through his medical records, we did all of that, and we are on the verge of, finalizing with our reports before the president of the country shut down the country because of, COVID-19. So at the time that we are called back, or at the time the laws on movement is relaxed in the country, we will submit our reports. Now, whenever I've been called, people want to know what we found out. I can only tell you what we have done. I can't say what we have found out because
just submitted a report. I don't want to say that.
Yes. So that's what we have done. And hopefully, whenever we are called upon, we'll submit the report. But what I can say is this, and I will say it, whether I'm a member of the committee or not, I will say it. What I can say is this: the Nigerian league is a big mess.
Thanks for your honesty.
That's what I can say. It's a big mess. And if something is not done fast, many more players and fans and coaches will die in the league. That's what I can say.
All right, thank you very much, China. I promise not to ask another question, so let me keep my promise to you. It's been very, very nice talking to you, and my regards to your lovely son. And please preach the gospel of the league to them. Peradventure, some will convert, some will repent. And please don't tell them that it is 5G that caused our league to spoil. Please don't tell them that. Even if they minister to you, resist that spirit because it's not of God. Thank you very much for your time, and God bless you. For those of you who watch this video, please subscribe to ELEGBETE1 YouTube channel. Follow us, comment, tell us where you think we should improve. Technology has been able to make us work even from home on this lockdown. Please, whether there is COVID-19, whether you're watching it during this COVID-19 period or thereafter or year after, stay safe. The habit of washing hand not be bad one. Water and soap need the bleach hand. Make una wash on hand. After all, recently, almost everybody, they want bleach. So if the washing of hand will make someone from that bleach, good luck to you people. But washing of hand, no bad. And from now on, all this hugging and shaking, thank God, at least people will get body odor now, they hug and shake person again. Make it just continue. Even when they change this law, make it just continue like that. You guys do have a lovely day. And thank you very much once again, China, for being on my show.